Hello, 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 and welcome to round one of the HIP Racing League. Hit the Apex. HTP, not HIP. That's a great start, isn't it, Lordy? And here we are for round one. As you can see on the screen, round one, Monaco. Short qualifying is just about to get underway. We are not at max numbers tonight. We've had a lot of cancellations, which is very unfortunate for the league. But we still do have a hefty grid out there today, and we have some very quick drivers and I think some newcomers as well. I will run you through the grid briefly when obviously the game decides to load and present us with the wonderful and lovely Monaco. I do believe it might be at night. I'm not too sure if the chat agreed. We were thinking of making the season one a spectacle, and yes, it is. It is at night. It's an absolute spectacle for round one tonight. As we see qualifying get underway, Monaco probably not the first choice for you guys at home for a season one opener. But no, we like to do it big and we like to do it spectacular here at Hit the Apex. And as we see some of the engines get fired up, I think that's a Honda engine because it sounds like a Dyson Hoover coming out of the pit lane. I think that's a Renault and a Mercedes. Obviously 18 minutes on the clock, standard short qualifying for a racing league because we don't have all day, and obviously normal qualifying sessions take up to around about an hour, and the 50% races are around about an hour, so we don't want to take up your guys or too much time. In general, we do see a lot of cars coming out of the pit lane on out laps. Just getting all my settings, telemetry, lap data, all that jazz sorted up on the side. As we see 4 viewers and 3 comments already, which is a good start for the stream today. Oh man. Obviously just like oh, apparently this is round 2. They did class because there's a bit of controversy with Silverstone. We weren't sure if it was round 1 or round 2, if it was pre-season. I think people did decide it was round 1, so thank you for correcting me there, Jari. Thank you very much. 12 people, question mark, good race. From Rusty. Like you say, not the turnout we would have wanted tonight, but obviously Saturday night is prime time for good old sesh. Unfortunately, myself won't be attending a sesh tonight because I'm actually free this Saturday. But I do like to get myself down to the local club. If you want to come down to Burton, which is where I'm from, the local club, the association. Thursdays is normally prime night. Dirty Thursdays we call it. Drinks for only £1. So if you feel like being a bit cheap and getting a bit wasted, then that's where you should come to see. But anyway, regardless of all that, we see Jay Fletcher out in the Renault, looking very stylish as we see Monaco under the lights, which is something very that we don't get to see very often. As you see yellow flag in sector 3, I do believe that is just some slow back markers. Maybe someone's made a mistake already, but I think it is just slow back markers getting out of the way. We are going to see every driver on track out currently, apart from 3. Maybe biding their time, or they've messed up their out lap, so they're not too happy with the track conditions, just waiting for later. But we are on board with Jay Fletcher as he comes through now, perfectly kissing the apex, just having a bit of oversteer coming out of the corners, so maybe the setup's not tuned to his liking, but the number 12 is absolutely venomous coming through the swimming pool section. And here we go, round the penultimate corner. Jay Fletcher lights up the rears out on exit. It is dark and it is slippery out there, but he enables DRS, and here he comes across the line. He's going to set a 1:10.7. Not too sure who is the next one around. I think it's this Mercedes of Dark Bolt, and he goes a 19.3. Sorry, fantastic lap from Dark Bolt, absolutely destroying the competition with the first lap of the session. Geordie slots in with a 1:12.4, not a bank. I think just a bit of a banker lap. As Sparks goes P2, and as Ghosts goes P3 with a 1.9. A 1:09.5 and a 1:09.8 respectively. Obviously some of the drivers just piling through now to see if the Red Bull, I do believe he was in a Ferrari last time, so I think driver changes have been made for tonight. A few driver allocations, maybe not to people's liking. They've been here, there, and everywhere. You see yellow flags in sector 1 and 2, and he's just about to start a lap. The Pierre Gasly of the grid. As we obviously see drivers coming through the lovely tunnel. We do love a good tunnel. Just seeing if the Racing Point's on a lap. I don't think he is. A lot of people on cooldown laps maybe wanting to pit. As we see Forbes, as yellow flags in sector 1 and 2, so I don't know if someone's made a mistake, but Forbes is out there on the mediums. So maybe not quite used to the track temperatures, maybe not quite used to Monaco itself, and just getting a feel for the track. As we see yellow flags in sector 2 as well. Forbes, he's low on fuel, he's got half ERS, and he's actually going to pit. So Forbes, probably not the best lap on the mediums, he's about 2.3 seconds off the lead, so probably will be a bit disappointed with that as Ghosts hogs the pit lane. As you see Forbes come in, the mechanic's not ready for him, just waiting there, you know, like a lost puppy, like a child in a supermarket, just stranded with no support. As we just check out on track, Taz is about to start a lap, I do believe, as Taz has left the session. Maybe a connection issue for Taz there. He was about to start a lap, I do believe. So big issues for the Haas driver there. As we see drivers filing in and out of the pit lane, it's it's junction time in the pit lane. As we also see Geordie pit as well from P6 currently. But no has to be said. The top three guys setting a very good example at the moment with Dartbolt with a 109.3. Then you've got Sparks, the teammates, and Mercedes a bit of a 1-2, just like real life, with a 109.5. Then we've got J Ghosts with a 109.8. Then we drop a bit further back 5/10 to the Ginger. The one and only Ginger. There's not any Gingers left. He is the last one out. He's the last one alive. The Ginger. The Ginger 2121 in 4th place. I don't think I saw him last week, so maybe a newcomer to the league. He is in the Racing Point. He's actually doing a very good job out there in P4 currently, but there is a long way to go in this qualifying session. Any good chicks at that club? Rusty, if you know Burton like I do, you would know that they're all slags. And you wouldn't go near them with a barge pole. No, I'm joking. Some of them are absolute woadies, but let's just say a lot of Burton is consisted and is occupied by the slag variety, as I like to call it. You know, no foxy ladies out there, unfortunately. Yes, Ginger is very slow. New guy. Back in faces. Well, Ginger's actually in P4 at the moment, so you may criticise his pace, but nobody, only 3 drivers have beaten this lap so far, so can't discount him just yet. Obviously, I wish the turnout would have been a bit better. It would have been nice to see, you know, a variety of talent around Monaco, especially at night, because it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially with the new graphics they've introduced this game. It's very, very lovely. Very appealing on the eye. Very. Oh no, it's Ginger. The commentator's curse. Ginger turns in too early, just coming into the final bit of Sector 1 and clouts the barriers, and Monaco luckily hasn't taken his life. He's only taken his front wing, so Ginger escapes with his life, but not with his front wing. As you see yellow flags in Sector 3, trying to cycle through a couple of drivers. The Red Bull's just about to start a lap. Here we go, on board with Dartbolt. I think he's on another lap. Look at that man, he just glides through, clouts the wall on exit though, which is a bit damaging to his Mercedes. He definitely is on a lap. He's absolutely going for it. Misses the apex on the final corner and clouds the barrier on the outside, so it might not be the quickest of lap. But here comes Dartbolt across the line, a 108.7 as we see yellow flags in Sector 1. Dartbolt on fire. I think his teammates next up. It is LR Spark, as we know him originally in PSGL, but in this league he's known as Sparks. And here he comes across the line. What's he going to say? He's got no ERS, he's got no deployment. It's a 109.1. Good enough to improve, not enough to beat Dartbolt. As we see more drivers filing in the pit lane, I want to go on board with this man, Jay Fletcher, who was battling for P2 in Britain, and I think he's clipped the curb on the inside. He's running out of ERS, he's running out of ideas, but here comes Jay Fletcher, P5 at the moment, and he bottles it. and enters the pit lane as we go on board with Jordy. Jordy definitely room for improvement, only a 1:11.0 as he locks up going into the penultimate corner. Here he comes though, he's cycling through the gears. First, second, he can't make his mind up, but he's going to come across the line now. It's a 1:11.0. Is he going to improve? Jordy goes P4 with a 1:10.1. Well done to Jordy. He's beat Ginger and Jay Fletcher. As up to P7 goes Pierre Gasly in the Red Bull. Probably not the best laps, especially on the soft tyres. We see yellow flags in sector 1. So more people probably getting out of the way. Here we go. Jay Ghost. We are going to run on board with him because he is about to start a lap. Take us through, Jay Ghost. Take us through. Enters turn 1. Looks like an actual corner cut, but it might just be exceeding track limits. But here he goes on the run up to the long left-hander. It goes on for the age. It's like a Sahara desert. It just goes on forever. But then a sharp right-hander as the track undulates downwards into the end of the first sector. As we see Jay goes full concentration as he enters the very, very slow hairpin. Very painful for pad users. I've locked my thumb many times going through that section of the track. As he now enters the long sweeping left-hander under the tunnel, I should say, not on the tunnel. That would be very dangerous. As he comes down now into the sharp chicane. It's very difficult to nail the apex. He looked very slow on exit. It has to be said from Jago's, probably not his best lap. But here he comes now through the swimming pool section. Perfectly timed the apex and kisses the curbs gracefully in that McLaren. Very glistening as he enters the final sector, the penultimate corner. He's actually not on a lap, so I've just commentated on that for absolutely no reason. Now he's on a lap. So clearly not happy with his performance and he's about to start his lap now. We won't go on board with him to see if anybody else is out there. Ginger's about to start a lap. Out lap for Jay Fletcher people in the pit. Forbes is about to start a lap as well. Raikkonen with the 1:13.1, definitely not representative of his pace. He needs to book his ideas up, this man. Obviously Raikkonen, a famous name in some leagues as he gets out of the way coming into the hairpin because Forbes is on a charge as you see him ring this McLaren around the middle sector. Definitely the trickiest part of the track in my opinion. These slow speed corners really do take a toll on the front tyres, and then going into the bridge it just switches from a slow part, from the slow section of the track to a fast section of the track as he goes through the chicane. Is that a cut? I think it was just on the limit for Forbes, but he's absolutely charging through this long sweeping left hander. You can take a lot of speed through there, but be careful of your front wing as we enter double back-to-back chicanes as Forbes is absolutely trying his best, ringing that McLaren across as Jay Ghosts pits, but Forbes is not going to pit. This man wants a good lap time, and here he comes. It's going to be a 1:08, a 1:09, a 1:10, a 1:10.2, and Forbes goes P5, but it's nowhere near the top time. So these drivers clearly unprepared for Monaco, and Dark Bolt has done his revision. His real name is Olu. Would he mind if I call him Olu? Right, I'll call him Olu. Or is it Ulu? Obviously you can't speak to me. Chat, Rusty can't speak to me at the moment. So obviously it could be Olu or Ulu, but he can't, televise this to me at the moment. Ulu, okay. Yes, please call him Ulu. Okay, Ulu. Ulu is currently P8 at the moment, so not too bad of a job. Definitely not a representative lap time, so we will be looking to get a better lap than that. He's currently on one at the moment, taking the first sector like a swan across a lake, until you touch one of its babies and it stares at you and gets all mean and starts hissing and oof, swans, nasty things, tell you. But anyway, just cycling through the field. Raikkonen's on a lap, he's weaving all over the place, and he sets a 1:12.3, but it's actually invalid. So Raikkonen having an absolute torrid time as he nearly loses it in sector 1. Just cycling through the grid. Lewis has yet to set a lap and is out now in the pearl white Williams. It doesn't purr like a cat though, does it? It's a bit dirty. But as he clips the barrier on exit going into the second chicane. Very, very dirty at the moment. But this man, has he backed off? Ulu, he has. He's not happy. There's still time left for some of these drivers. Ulu has backed off. People in the garage, people changing setups, people not impressed. Sparks, I don't think he's on a lap. 2.5 seconds down. Dark Bolt must be very happy with himself. Sparks did improve actually with a 1.8.9. I don't know if he's got any softs left though, because he's done 3 laps. So I think Sparks is finished for the session. A 109.8 for Ghosts, which is a second off, which is not very competitive unfortunately for these guys, but obviously just checking through the cycling through the field, seeing where people are going to end up. Raikkonen being an absolute, I don't even know what he's doing to be honest. He's never been the most sane of drivers. Good old Raikkonen. Never had a problem with him myself, but yeah, get yourself in the pit lane, mate, because you're gliding all over the circuit. That Ferrari looks finished. Hasn't got a representative lap time, and I don't think he will be setting one at this rate if he carries on like that. Just cycling through the grid as well. A lot of people in the pit lane. Jay Fletcher's not in the pit lane though. Jay Fletcher's on a lap, but he's 1/10 down in sector 1. So Jay Fletcher looking to impress, but I don't think he will be. He must be on a pad going through the hairpin. Oof, so slow, dirty. You know, nails it the best he can. But Jay Fletcher clearly struggling out there. Was definitely at 1 in his element at Britain, or Silverstone, as it's also known as. Not the best variation of Silverstone, must be said. I do prefer the old layout, not the old 1960s layout. You know, like the kind of mid 2000s layout. Juicy that track was. But anyway, Jay Fletcher in the Renault. See yellow flags in sector 1. I think there's been an incident. But Jay Fletcher's going to round off the penultimate corner. Here he is, the number 12, the man with the plan. Jay Fletcher. I think he's run out of ideas though. He's not got no plan for this Grand Prix. Is he going to improve? It's a 110.1 for Jay. Oh! Darwin out the pit lane. Oh, it's a calamity. Matt gets a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Jay Fletcher. The camera just transitioned, but Jay Fletcher's finished his lap, and I don't know if he meant to or not, but oh my days. What have I just witnessed? Matt gets absolutely trounced into just before turn 1 across the line, and Jay Fletcher, intentional or not, I don't think it was. It was just, yeah, Matt, he screams in the chat. Not very happy, Jay Fletcher. But I think he was coming out of the pit lane. As you see, Lewis has spun into turn number 6, I believe, just at the end of this first sector. Yeah, letting everybody past. Good on you, Lewis. As we see, Jay Coasts entering turn 1. Who else we got to look at? Geordie's just coming out of the pit lane. Lulu. Lulu. He is currently at the moment on an outlap, I do believe. Forbes is on a lap, and he's 1.2 seconds. No, he's not. He's 400th of a second up. Timing screen's glitched. You see yellow flags in sector 2. I just think that's people moving out of the way as Jay Ghost parks it on the hairpin. I think it's to make way for his teammate because he is on a lap. As Lewis is obviously, I don't know if he's going to go for another lap. I think he will do. As many people are starting laps. I think Forbes is the closest man on track. Matt says, nice one, Jay. Laughing faces, so controversy in the chat regarding these guys as Forbes and Jay Ghost chopping and changing positions like it's a Sunday drive. But I don't know if Forbes is on a lap, so he might actually be compromising him here. I thought Jay Ghost actually let him through initially, but it doesn't look like it. As Forbes is going to cross the line, it's going to be a 110.3. He's going to stay where he is. Raikkonen has binned it in the wall. Rubbish. Get that man out. Dark Bolt's going to be the first across the line. I don't think he's going any faster. No, he's not. He's going very slow. So Sparks will be the last man, I think, who's competitive, who can challenge that lap time. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near a 1.8 though. I don't know, I could be wrong. It's a 1.87 and Sparks goes pole. Sparks, an absolute unbelievable lap, goes pole position. I think Ulu's the last person out on track that hasn't retired, who looks quite competitive in the Red Bull. Here he is. Ulu, here he comes. His name rolls off the tongue superbly as Lewis retires from the session. Unfortunate for him. And as Raikkonen retires very deep into the penultimate corner as he rings the car out of the last corner and he puts all that Honda power into the Red Bull. Don't know where he's finished because the timing screens have gone off, but we will check now. It's 8th position for Ulu in the Red Bull, so congratulations. Congratulations to him. It's a top 10 with 12 people. And obviously Matt will be starting from last due to the incident with Jay Fletcher. Jay obviously unhappy with the collision. Matt didn't really seem to know what was going on, so I'll leave that up to the stewards, whoever they might be. But no, I will run you through the grid order just quickly. It is Sparks who takes a phenomenal pole position from his teammate just behind Darkbolt in P2. P3 is Jay Ghosts, the Ginger P4. He said he's slow, but he's P4. 5th is Geordie, Jay Fletcher 6th, 7th is Forbes, 8th is Ulu, 9th is Raikkonen, and 10th will not be Matt because of his penalty, and will be Lewis, I believe. I think Lewis was P11 with an invalid lap time. Unfortunately, there was 2 drivers who didn't set a lap time, just couldn't get their act together, couldn't get their eggs in one basket. They were just all over the place, yolk everywhere, disgusting. But no, here we are for the lovely Monaco Grand Prix. It's a sight to behold in the day, but in the night time you get a certain type of people who come out at night time, like me, like Lordy Boy, who comes out at night time and sorts everything out. As I've said before, the nighttime crowd definitely draws an attraction to the F1 grids. Monaco at night is absolutely gorgeous. The ferries with their neon lights shining through the glistening skies is a sight to behold as we see Big C. Big C has joined the chat. Sexy voice. Thank you very much, Big C. We watch Sparks take us through the formation map. Rusty says, "You are slow." I believe responding to Big C. Big C, very hysterical laughter in the chat, maybe a bit too much. Lol. Add me on PSM. You seem nice, lol. My PSM is huh? That is a very long PSM. The Smoking Bandit. Yeah, that took me a while to realise what it said. It's a pretty cool name, actually. Very, very cool name. Rusty, why aren't you in this race? Have you asked to be in it? You could always ask Spark, or see if I can get you in. Obviously, just waiting for the drivers to form up now, and you know, in my spare time, I like to check the Tinder, because you know, women are everywhere, and so am I. I'm everywhere, because you know what? I'm a slag as well. Some fun facts for you guys. A lot of people retweeted for a good old Hit the Apex. As we see the grid form up on the line currently, so it's going to be an absolutely fantastic race here at Monaco. You've got 20 comments, so a lot of people are ready and waiting. Under the lights here at Monaco, we've got Sparks leading the way, and I don't know how many lights are going because it's glitched, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go, 5 lights here at Monaco. And it's lights out, away we go. Let's see who gets the better of the 2 starts from the Mercedes boys. I think Sparks initially gets the getaway with Jagos slotting in P3. It seems very clean from the start, from everybody, single file, like a primary school playground. Everybody is just filing through one after another after hearing the dinner bell. But no, it's Sparks, the man leading the way from Darkbolt. So I just get all my telemetry up, Lewis, because you need to know where people are. The telemetry does seem a bit glitched as you see. Oh, collisions at the back. I think Lewis has lost a bit of wing on the back of Ulu. Oh no, poor Lewis. Starting P10. Matt P11. I don't know who P12 was. I think. Oh, it was Taz, and Taz had connection issues, I do believe. But no, as we see a challenge with Jay. Oh, Jay Fletcher and Geordie. Oh no, and Forbes hit the back of Jay Fletcher. And oh, it's gone completely wrong for Jay Fletcher. And oh, Jay Fletcher's lost it. And oh no, a commiserate. Oh, and Lewis is going to hit him. Oh no, he's in the middle of the road. The Toro Rosso's gone through him, luckily. And oh, the Ferrari of Raikkonen's lost it as well. It's an absolute shambles. That man needs sacking. I don't know why Raikkonen's in this, to be honest. Absolute what a mong. Honestly, Sparks, get with Raikkonen. He's banned from GL for a reason as well. Anyway, carrying on with the race, there must be a safety car, surely. Jay Forbes, as Lewis pits for a set of... I don't even know what he's pitted for a setup because the tyres have changed so drastically. He's pitted for a set of softs. Okay, so he's pitted for a set of softs. And a front wing change because obviously the collision they had. Forbes has had to pit as well, unfortunately, getting tangled up with Jay and Geordie. As we see Matt in the Toro Rosso. Currently on the mediums, just having a nice little stroll around the streets of Monaco. With, I don't know if Ulu picked up damage, I think he did in the front end plate as Raikkonen picks up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. That man, yeah, I can tell you from experience, that man needs sacking. Geordie is moved up to P5 after the collision with Jay Fletcher. Just running through the grid now, as well as we see Darkbolt nearly lose it on the penultimate corner as he was catching his teammate, so that's not going to be good. The Silver Arrows team boss Toto Wolff must be furious with the lack of care he is taking on that Mercedes so far. And obviously Jay Ghosts is closing in. Zach Brown will be licking his lips, and it's not because he's holding a donut in his hand, because he is a big man, isn't he, God, Zach Brown? No, he is. He's a large fella. No, Jay Ghosts actually sticking with these guys. His qualifying lap time wasn't really representative compared to these two. These two definitely having the early qualifying pace. But Jay Ghost, no, he's hanging in there. He's definitely guaranteed P3 if he can just keep the car out of the barriers. That's the trick around Monaco. You can be the fastest driver, you can be the most consistent driver, but if you don't keep it out of the walls, then you are done for. As we see Stuart doing a fantastic job. He does seem the more comfortable of the two Silver Arrows at this stage of the race. I don't know if Darkbolt is struggling with these soft compounds as he nearly clips the wall on the inside. As Forbes says, Lewis, what the F? Don't know if does he mean Lewis? You span me. So Forbes says, you span me, Lewis. And I don't think Forbes has a wing. He's got the hard tyres on and he does not have a wing. So Forbes is well and truly out of this race. And Raikkonen, who's in no man's land as well, is actually going to pick up some valuable points as Forbes and Raikkonen get tanked, and Raikkonen's just killed him. Oh dear. The people in this don't know how to race. Yeah. I think somebody needs to tell Spark to cancel the race. I don't think this is a good representation, especially after Silverstone. Silverstone was absolutely brilliant. I think we need to stop the race. Personally, from my perspective, there's not enough to commentate on. Just gonna into the chat. Obviously, sorry about that interruption the recording, just sending Spark a bit of a message. Yeah, it's a bit of a bit of a weird contrast from Silverstone. Silverstone was actually very, very entertaining, very, very enjoyable to commentate on. Obviously, I know Monaco is a difficult track, but you know, a lot of these drivers have been completely embarrassing. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not the manager or the owner of this league, but if I was the owner, I'd be, you know, putting my head in hands as we see Matt try and challenge Jordy and Ginger up ahead as well. So there's kind of a crispy battle going on. I'm not sure what the outcome of the race is going to happen at the moment, but Matt currently on the back of Jordy for P6. For P5, sorry, he is currently P6 for P5 and maybe even P4 because Ginger, I don't know if there's a M plate damage on that racing point. I think it is front left M plate damage, but he does seem to be going very slow crawling around this track, and he's clearly holding up Jordy and definitely holding up Matt. Matt's looking the most venomous out of anybody currently at the moment. Informed Spark of see the incidents happening. Bit of a shame, like I said before, but no, people are still carrying on. The big part for P4 at the moment, as yeah, Ginger's definitely got damage. He was doing a very good job in P4, but he's getting absolutely harassed by Jordy and Matt. And Jordy and Matt are both going to have the rest down this straight. Not like it's going to mean much, but Ginger's definitely suffering from downforce issues, maybe quicker on the straight actually, because obviously bodywork off the kart, so it's not going to weigh as much, even though it would be like a half a kilogram anyway of bodywork shaved off the kart. But here we go then, into sector 1, coming into sector 2, a sharp right hander as you start the middle sector of the lap. You know, the slowest sector out of all of the sectors. You see Jordy just pushing Ginger through every single corner. Ginger, obviously, like I said before, has got end plate damage, which is very unfortunate. Clearly, you know, made a slight mistake going through one of the corners, and I think Matt's just biding his time, keeping that gap at a reasonable distance so he doesn't get tangled if these two go for a move. But Jordy at the moment, there's Ginger, yeah, cuts another corner because of a wing damage, and Jordy's just licking his lips. He's sniffing the gearbox. But no, the Dirty, yeah, definitely compromising the Haas. He's not having the best of times out there. It's definitely a very difficult. Oh, and Ginger pits. Ginger's had enough. Ginger said, no, that's it, that's fine. The wing damage is costing me way too much. And maybe it's the pit window for a set of softs, but I'm not too sure. Matt's going to challenge Jordy into turn 1. He's definitely up the gearbox. Is he going to make a move? I've seen it done there before. Not with these cars, but in 2013, I should say. I believe Iran. F1 from a different league. You guys may know him. You guys may know him from PSGL. He did a move on a guy called Washi II of that section of the track in Monaco, and the reason I know it so well is because I was right behind it. I was challenging, that was for P2 at the time, challenging in the F1 league. So anyway, that's not why we're here. We're on about the battle between Jordy and Matt. Matt must make a move. He can't. It is a prime overtaking position down into the chicane. It may be difficult, but a lot of respect has to be given from both drivers, and I don't think Matt thinks he's going to get the respect he deserves. He's definitely the quicker of the two drivers. I don't know what's happening with tyre wear, but Matt is looking tasty. Do you know what I was just looking tasty? My Chinese, that is currently going cold, unfortunately, because I ordered it at the wrong time and it came late. But regardless, Matt, this is his one and only chance, I think, to get past Jordy. Jordy's going to defend. I don't know what line he's defending there, but he defends A line into turn 1. Matt probably is furious as we see yellow flags in sector 3 as Raikkonen needs to just get off the track. Right, as Lewis retires, I think he's made a mistake. Just going to go on board with Matt and Jordy again. Going to see some fancy camera angles. Is he going to do it down here? No. Matt needs to get it done. He's clearly got the pace for higher positions, but he's getting hold up a tree, and I think he's just hit the back. Was that a piece of carbon fibre off the back of the Toro Rosso? I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like anything from this perspective. We're just going to go on board with the cockpit cam, just to see the cockpit cam, the offset cam. As we see, oh, Jordy's made a mistake into the tunnel, but he is on the inside into the corner. Matt does an absolute worldie of an overtake. ABS definitely on in that Toro Rosso. Brilliant move from Matt, but definitely ABS assisted. Nothing to snuff at, either an ABS on. You know, it's what you prefer at the end of the day, but well done from Matt. I think it had to be done. He took his opportunity and thrusted himself past the Haas. Just having a bit of breather as we see the two Mercedes boys run away with this race. It has to be said, J Ghost's not showing the same amount of pace, but he's not too far off the back. I think getting caught by Matt though on those mediums. Just obviously running through the grid now. There's only 8 drivers remaining, and this man is pitted about 4 times. You know, he's been from racing league to racing league, and he ruins the experience for everybody. It is Raikkonen. Yeah, a bit of a shame really, because he's actually a talented driver, but what is he doing? We're just going to stay on board with him a second just to prove my point. If any other action does unfold, I will obviously move myself into that. I think these two are getting very cozy, Ulu and Ginger, but I will just stay on board with Raikkonen, you know, just to see what this man does, basically. Right, I think Jordy has pitted and will obviously come out behind these guys because they did pit before. I think it must be a 2-stop here around Monaco, only unless people are going to go longer on these mediums and hards, but I don't think they'll last the whole race, but I never know, I've been proved wrong before. Dark Bolt has made a pit stop before his teammate looking to get the undercut, but he's come out right behind Matt. So actually compromising his race, it must be said, as Raikkonen picks up a penalty for the 18th time as Spark comes in the pit lane. So J Ghost will be the race leader, I do believe, only unless he pits now, which he does. Spark out of the pit lane. Matt's done an absolute dirty job of holding up Dark Bolt, and Spark I think will have it comfortably, or will he? Matt might get past him actually here as Dark Bolt's actually going to go around the outside into turn 1. Dark Bolt will, oh, it's neck and neck with the 2 teammates actually. This is juicy action. Dark Bolt needs to get the move done, but no, but crucially Matt is ahead of Spark. So Matt is the cork in the bottle on these medium tyres. Can Sparks get past him? I don't think he will, but Dark Bolt unfortunately got held by the Toro Rosso and didn't get the undercut. Right, this race is finally spicing up and we have a battle on our hands now. 3-way battle for P1. Obviously Matt has not pitted and will be the slower of the 3 drivers because he has worn tyres, but we finally have a race on our hands. Obviously Sparks definitely looking the quicker of the 3 drivers at this current stage on the medium tyres. He is pushing Matt round the circuit. Darkbolt clearly struggling in the dirty air, but Spark seems to be, you know, reignited on these medium tyres. He's got them up to temperature very fast. But Darkbolt gets a really good exit out of the last corner and out of the penultimate corner. So will Sparks challenge into turn 1? No, he won't, as Raikkonen picks up another penalty kick. Honestly, Spark, I know you're racing. I think you do run things around here. Just get him out. Just make him see it's not worth your time. But anyway, as we see Matt, oh, he's holding up Sparks, an absolute treat. But Sparks has got a decent exit, but no, he can't put his foot down heavy enough to see that as Darkbolt nearly runs into the back of his teammate in P3. Toe must be biting all of his nails off, even his toenails, as Darkbolt takes probably the most conservative line through there. As we see yellow flags because Ghost has binned it. Ghost has binned it. I'm just going to go on with Ginger just so I can see where Ghosts has binned it. Is it this right-hander where he's binned it? It must be the right-hander where he's binned it. There he is. He's P7 at the moment. Oh, poor Ghosts. Out of nowhere, he's pitted and absolutely lost it into Sector 1 and has retired from this race. So, luckily, Matt's putting on a bit of a show as Raikkonen's also retired. Yeah, I think virtual safety car has actually been called out. Virtual safety car, Matt pits under the virtual safety car, which is going to help him out immensely. So Matt 100% should come out. Yeah, Matt's 100% going to come out in P3. Sorry, brain just had a bit of a malfunction. There was yellow flags in every sector as Lewis also leaves the session. There's yellow flags in sector 2. Yeah, I think we'll just stay on board with. I don't know if he had wing damage actually, Matt, but he's lost a heap of time. I'm going to go on board with Dartbolt just to see what's happening. Just right on board with Dartbolt. Obviously just run through the grid now. I think for you guys it's a bit unfortunate. There's only 6 runners and I don't even know what to say at this point. I feel a bit sorry for the people who actually run this league because we're trying to put on a good show here, and the lack of attendance obviously doesn't help for some drivers. We're trying to get this league established and trying to get this league well known, you know, just for a bit of a fun experience for everyone who's competitive and quick. But no, I think for myself, I don't know if people would disagree with this, but I'm actually going to end the stream in about 5 minutes. I don't think it's worth streaming. There's nothing to watch. There's no drivers out on track that are close to each other. Dartbolt's losing time to Sparks. Obviously, I don't want to disrespect any of these guys. I think some of them have done a fantastic job racing, but obviously when the fields, when second place excuse me, when second place is separated from the top 2 by 24 seconds and people have been taken out, and it's just not very good. Forbes, I have to personally feel sorry for Forbes, because Forbes is obviously had a bit of a collision at the start of the race because Geordie and Jay Fletcher had a bit of an incident, and Forbes got tangled up in it, lost his wing, and then got taken out. So, you know, and it's just a bit silly. I think Jay Fletcher as well was at fault personally, from my perspective, look like, why are you on the right side of the track when you cross the line? He's coming out the pit lane, so you know, that's just my personal opinion. So that's just where I stand on everything. But we can have a look at Ulu and Geordie for a bit, just for a bit of entertainment. But I think as soon as this battle peters out, I just don't think there's any point of continuing. Obviously, next week, I think personally, I don't know what the owners or the admins want to do with this league, but I think personally Monaco should be rerun again, and we should cancel it. But obviously, like I say, that's just my opinion. We'll see what the guys do at the end, but I'm here to commentate on some good, fair, clean racing, and all I've seen this entire stream is horrendous racing, so it's a bit of a shame from everybody. But no, we are going to see Ulu under attack from Geordie. As I stop my rant for 1 second. I don't think anything's going to happen. Yep. I think Geordie inevitably will pass Ulu. But for everybody that is still racing and who has raced cleanly, yeah, sorry guys. And for everybody who wanted a Saturday night bit of commentary, a bit of a chilled out time, including myself. Obviously, apologies again, but I'm going to end the stream off here, guys. I will inform you next week, hopefully. Next week, whether Monaco gets cancelled or not, I'm unsure. If Monaco is not cancelled, and if Monaco does end up standing, I do believe the next race is Bahrain, so another night race. Another race into the glistening lights, and let's hope it will shine some light on some of these drivers that definitely don't deserve a place in this league. But no, I've been LORDY-MK. Hopefully you can tune in next week. It will be a million times better, I can guarantee you that. But no, I do believe the grid order will stay the same. I will obviously update you guys with the performance and how everybody's done. But no, take care, and hopefully next week will be a million times better. But yeah, peace.